Tennis is the hardest sport in the world, and I can prove it. Not because of the technique, although that alone would already make a strong case. Not because of the fitness, although that's part of it too. It's because of everything around the sport that nobody talks about. The stuff that happens off the court, behind the scenes, in the bank account, and inside the head. Things that other sports just don't ask of their athletes in the same way. And when you lay it all out together, the loneliness, the cost, the system, the odds of actually making it, nothing else comes close. Other sports are hard. Tennis is a different category. Let me show you why. 1. Loneliest sport. Let's start with something that doesn't get nearly enough attention. In almost every other major sport, you have teammates. You have people on the field with you, people on the bench behind you, people to pass to when things go wrong. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer. Even in individual sports like cycling or rowing, you have a team around you during the event itself. In tennis, once the match starts, you have nothing. Your coach cannot speak to you. Your family in the stands cannot signal you. Nobody can call a timeout and calm you down. Nobody can sub in for you when your legs are dead in the 5th set. It is just you, a racket, and the person on the other side of the net trying to break you. And here's what makes that extra brutal. The sport asks you to make hundreds of micro decisions every single point. Where to serve, where to hit, when to attack, when to defend. And you have to make all of them alone, in real time, while physically exhausted, while mentally under pressure, while the last 3 errors you made are still sitting in your head. No coach whispering in your ear. No teammate to pick you up. Just you figuring it out by yourself. The loneliness of tennis is not just emotional, it's structural. It's built into the rules, and that alone separates it from almost everything else. 2. Expensive to maintain. Here's a number that stops most people cold when they hear it. To fund a junior tennis career at a competitive level, coaching, tournaments, travel, equipment, court fees, you're looking at anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 a year, per year, for years, before the kid ever turns professional, before they earn a single cent in prize money. Compare that to basketball, where a kid with talent plays at the local gym for free, gets spotted and earns a scholarship that pays for their education. Or soccer, where academies actively recruit young talent and cover the cost of development. Tennis doesn't work like that. Tennis comes to you with a bill, a big one, and it shows up before you've proven anything. This means the sport filters out talent based on money before it ever gets a chance to filter based on ability. The kid who could have been ranked in the top 50 in the world is out there somewhere working a regular job because nobody in their family could write those checks. And nobody in tennis talks about this enough. The sport is expensive at every level, not just elite development. Court fees, rackets, strings, shoes, lessons. It adds up faster than people realize, and it never really stops. And if you want to take your tennis to the next level, check out the Tennis Master Pack. A pack that includes the Elite Player Guide with technical and tactical tips, the Become a Pro Guide where you'll learn how to become a pro tennis player, a full-week fitness routine to take your fitness to the next level, and a prevention routine to prevent injuries and enhance recovery. This pack already helped hundreds of tennis players. Get your clicking on the link in the description. Let's continue with the video. 3. Toughest ranking system. Professional tennis has one of the cruelest financial structures in all of sport, and the ranking system sits right at the center of it. To play the big tournaments where the real prize money is, you need a high ranking. To get a high ranking, you need to play tournaments. To play tournaments, you need to travel. To travel, you need money. And if you're ranked outside the top 200 in the world, which already puts you in the top fraction of 1% of all tennis players on Earth, you are almost certainly losing money every single week you're on tour. The math is genuinely painful. A player ranked around 200 in the world might earn somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 in prize money in a good year. Sounds like a lot, until you subtract flights, hotels, food, coach travel, physiotherapy, equipment, and entry fees across 30 or 40 weeks of travel. Most players in that range are breaking even at best. Many are losing money. And one injury, one bad month, and the ranking points you earned last year start expiring, dragging you back down the list, closing doors to tournaments, shrinking the prize money available. In football, if you make the first team squad, you get paid whether you perform this week or not. In tennis, if you lose in the first round of a small challenger event in a city nobody has heard of, you fly home having lost money on the trip. That is not a normal way for a sport to treat its professionals. 4. Toughest technically and mentally. Let's talk about what actually happens during a match, because the physical side is obvious. The running, the endurance, the explosive. Movements for 2, 3, 4 hours in the heat. Most people get that part. What's less obvious is what the brain is doing at the same time. Every single point in tennis is a problem that needs solving. The ball comes at a different height, speed, spin, and direction every time. There are no set plays. There is no script. You have to read what's coming, move your feet to the right place, set up your body correctly, choose a shot, execute it technically at speed, recover, and do it again immediately. And that sequence happens 20, 30, 40 times per point sometimes, with no break between points long enough to actually reset. The technique required is also genuinely absurd when you think about it. You are hitting a moving ball with a moving racket while you yourself are moving, and you have to control the direction, depth, height, and spin of the result with accuracy measured in centimeters. And you have to do that under pressure, in front of people, while managing your emotions, your energy, and your tactical plan simultaneously. No other sport combines physical endurance, explosive power, hand-eye coordination at that level, real-time tactical thinking, and complete emotional solitude all at once. Most sports have one or two of those. Tennis has all of them, every match, every point. 5. Most don't make a living from it. This is the number that puts everything into perspective. There are roughly 500 professional tennis players in the world who earn enough prize money to cover their costs and turn a profit from the sport. 500 out of millions of people who play tennis competitively at some level around the world. In football, an average professional playing in a mid-level European league can earn a comfortable living without being anywhere near a famous name. In tennis, being ranked inside the top 500 in the entire world, which is an extraordinary achievement, still might not pay your bills. The players you see on television, the names you recognize, the ones playing Wimbledon and the US Open, they are the extreme tip of an enormous pyramid. And underneath them are thousands of players who committed their entire childhood and young adult life to this sport, who are technically exceptional, who work harder than most people can imagine, and who will never earn enough from tennis to retire comfortably. Because the sport simply doesn't have the revenue structure to support more than a very small number of people at the top. That is a brutal reality that most people who fall in love with tennis as children don't fully understand until it's too late to choose differently. And that reality, more than anything else, is what makes tennis unlike any other sport in the world. So there it is. You're alone every time you compete. You pay before you earn. The system is designed to work against everyone except the very few at the top. The technical and mental demands are genuinely unlike anything else in sport. And the odds of actually making a living from it are smaller than almost any other professional path you could choose. And yet, millions of people play it anyway. Fall in love with it anyway. Give everything to it anyway. Because tennis does something to you that's hard to explain if you felt it. There's nothing quite like that clean contact, that perfect shot, that point where everything clicks. The sport is brutal. It's also beautiful. And that combination is probably why it's never going to stop pulling people in. Drop a comment telling me the hardest part of tennis for you personally. I'm genuinely curious whether it's the cost, the loneliness, the technique, or something else entirely. And subscribe if you want to keep getting the real side of this sport, not just the highlight reels. See you in the next one.